Blockchain is the future. John Bates, Director of Product Management for Adobe, said that blockchain is on par with technology like personal computers and the internet. Amber Lab, or the Ateneo MediEx-served Blockchain Education and Research Lab, set up by Ateneo de Manila University, is the first university-based blockchain research laboratory in the Philippines. But how does blockchain work? It functions like a digital database or general ledger of decentralized data that is securely shared. It enables a group of select participants to have a secure, real-time, shareable record of their transactions. Being decentralized, there is no single location where everything is stored, leading to better security and availability with no central point of vulnerability. Transactional data from multiple sources can be easily collected, integrated, and shared. New information or transactions are stored in blocks. The data in the block is first verified and added with a unique identifier before it is connected to a chain, thus creating a blockchain. It is a cycle where new blocks of data are added to a certain blockchain. Any new block added is replicated or shown to the network of people who have access to the database. A blockchain ledger can be shared but not altered, which makes it a stronghold for accuracy in verification of data and extra security. It is also efficient in handling transactions as it is operational 24/7, there is no need for intermediaries, and provides data integrity where fraud and tampering are prevented. This technology is known to be used in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, supply chain monitoring, voting processes, and asset transfers, to mention a few.
Impact of blockchain technology to industries and society. We've identified three of them. First is the operational efficiency through immutable and distributed record keeping. Arbitrage risks arise from the lack of a single version of the truth and audit trails. The logic of separate systems between market participants is challenged by blockchain, which eliminates the requirements for inter-firm reconciliation. It introduces the ability to establish proof of existence and inexistence over events. It provides a unique historical single version of the truth that has a widespread acceptance, lowering the disputes for audit trials. Second is the information symmetry through transparent record keeping. Cooperation between regulators and regulated entities improves with a common transparent ledger, and blockchain serves as a common data repository for them. It enables regulators to migrate from post-transaction monitoring to on-demand and rapid monitoring, enhancing their capacity to carry out the responsibility of assuring market legality, security, and stability. Indeed, blockchain technology allows for the provision of auditable timestamp and immutable data, resulting in a transparent and interoperable ecosystem in which rules may be introduced, enforced, and altered. Lastly is the decentralized corporation and governance. Blockchain offers new business model, novel organizational forms, and new labor and production processes in which access takes precedence over ownership and sharing takes precedence over property. Blockchain shifts the boundary between hierarchical organization and non-territorial, spontaneously ordered self-organizing economies. Decentralized organization and decentralized autonomous organization will enable new non-hierarchical governance model where decision-making will be spread on the edges of the network instead of being concentrated at the center. Decentralized organization and decentralized autonomous organization will be able to run a business under an incorruptible set of business rules.
The usage of blockchain technology yields excellent and beneficial outcomes. But what about the disadvantages of this technology? And as part of this presentation, we are to examine and analyze the benefits and drawbacks of blockchain technology and application in many sectors of the modern corporate world. Now, let's start with the advantages of blockchain. First, it has trustworthy systems. Blockchain technology promotes trust among entities. As a result, these institutions are willing to engage in business transactions or data sharing that they would not have done otherwise since an intermediary is formed. Thus, blockchain technology is constantly checking transaction parameters and is virtually impenetrable to fraud. Second, improved security and financial efficiency. The primary benefit of blockchain is that there is no third-party involvement, resulting in improved financial efficiency. This type of technology will allow individuals to save money and time during transaction procedures. The improved security provided by blockchain is a result of how the technology works. With the end-to-end encryption, blockchain produces an immutable record of transactions that prevents fraud and illegal activity. Furthermore, data on the blockchain is distributed across a network of computers, making hacking extremely difficult. Furthermore, by anonymizing data and requiring permission to limit access, blockchain can handle privacy concerns better than traditional computer systems. Next, it reduces costs. Blockchain transactions are quick, yet at a lower total cost. Traditional paper-heavy transaction stage processes are easily replaced by blockchain single record keeping. The procedure is finished successfully with trustworthy dealings without any participation of a third party. There is no complex documentation procedure, and transactions are completed with fewest mistakes as possible. Cryptocurrency and blockchain also aid in the cost-cutting of procedures. Fourth, it increases stability. One of the most significant benefits of blockchain technology is its stability. Companies are increasingly relying on this technology, which have greater retention rates in their services. It is difficult to delete or modify data after it has been recorded in the digital ledger. A reliable system like this can make procedures easier than they were previously. The data recorded on blockchain is transparent and accessible to those who have been granted permission. The system's accuracy and paperless allow for more transparency throughout the transaction process. And lastly, speed. Prior to the creation of the blockchain, traditional banking organizations took a long time to process and initiate transactions. But with the blockchain technology, transaction speed rose dramatically. In certain situations, blockchain may process a transaction in a matter of seconds or less. However, time frames can vary. How rapidly a blockchain-based system can execute transactions is determined by a number of factors, including the size of the data block and the network traffic. Nonetheless, experts have determined that in terms of speed, blockchain currently outperforms conventional procedures and technology. And that's the end for the advantages of blockchain. Now let's discuss the disadvantages and challenges of blockchain to bear in mind. First, it is hard to modify. We have discussed the advantage of having great stability, however, it can also have its downside. It is difficult to add or change data after it has been recorded in blockchain technology. It is regarded as one of the most significant downsides and benefits of blockchain technology. In terms of disadvantages, the process of data change necessitates rewriting codes and it is time-consuming. Too much stability may sometimes be detrimental to the system. Second, concerns about security. When compared to other transaction methods, blockchain technology is considered to provide the highest level of security. Still, it is not entirely safe, and according to studies, blockchain technology is vulnerable to a 51% attack. A 51% attack can occasionally be so severe that attackers acquire complete control of the system. Even though the security improved, which definitely benefited less of institutions, it's still not enough. Although anonymity is desirable, detecting perpetrators attempting illegal activities is difficult in this setting. It means that because of the anonymity and confidentiality of the system, it would be hard to detect those hackers and their illegal doings. Third, the knowledge of expertise. It is difficult to implement and manage a blockchain project. Going through the entire procedure necessitates extensive information from the industry. The metric suit a substantial percentage of blockchain professionals, which causes a difficulty and is regarded as one of the blockchain downsides. Not only that, but they must also teach their current employees in how to use blockchain and guarantee that the team management team understand the complexity and results of a blockchain power firm. Not to add that, blockchain developers and experts are difficult to reach by and will cost more than regular developers owing to the demand-supply ratio. Fourth, struggle with cost and implementation. The fundamental cost of deploying blockchain technology is high. It necessitates a significant commitment from the company that wants to pursue it. Hiring developers, maintaining a staff that specializes at different parts of blockchain technology, and all other costs. The cost of business blockchain initiatives might also exceed $1 million. And lastly, private key issues. Individuals' private keys are used to create blockchain addresses. That is, each individual with authorized access has their own private key. If the individual misplaces their private key, the procedure fails. They have no control over their money or future transaction procedures. This private key is similar to managing our bank. As a result, difficulties with private key render blockchain technology a complete disaster. This brings to the conclusion of the list of blockchain technology disadvantages. There is no doubt that blockchain technology has its own set of pros and cons.
Accounting is one of the areas in which the potentials of blockchain technology are deemed pivotal. The trend can be impactful not only to human beings, but to the accounting industry and the world at large. Blockchain can lessen the cost of keeping and reconciling ledgers, can provide validity on asset history and ownership, as well as give a clear picture of the obligations and resources available to a firm. The independent verification processes that the technology can carry out make it instrumental in maintaining and safeguarding important records and transferring data throughout systems. It has the distinct features of being immutable and decentralized. Let's first discuss its feature of being immutable. It basically means that blockchain data and information stored cannot be erased, will remain forever, and hence provide a remarkable level of transparency. For example, if I own an asset and I decide to transfer its ownership to another person, there will be a trace of record that I once owned it. On the other hand, what does it mean when we say that it has a decentralized nature? It pertains that no one, whether an individual, group, organization, or even the government, no one can control blockchain records. This results to lessening the cases of cyber attacks, information abuse, and hacking. How will these notable features of blockchain technology potentially impact the accountancy industry and profession? Blockchain technology can perform transactional level accounting. For example, it can ascertain the existence of a debtor or verify asset ownership. This in turn can shift the accountant's time and focus from the strenuous process of record keeping to the assessment and interpretation of data that the technology can readily generate. Moreover, the technology is also applicable in external audits. Similar to the previously presented example, it can aid in transactional level audit processes. This can enable auditors to focus their skills and value more on the work involving judgment and higher level questions. As accountancy students, I think we all know how accounting is highly concerned about reconciliations because every entity involved in a transaction maintains its separate records. This is where the feature of blockchain technology being immutable can be highly instrumental. It can create that synchronicity even if the entities involved are at different locations. This terminates the necessity of inputting financial information into multiple databases, as the technology can record shared transactions simultaneously as they occur. This upscales the traditional methods of reconciliation into a more consistent, real-time, and cost-efficient manner. Overall, this feature can prevent the likelihood of human error. You might be wondering, will this technology replace accountants? The answer is no. Blockchain may make the existence of a debtor certain, but an accountant's skills and proficiency are still needed to determine its recoverable value and economic worth. An asset's ownership is also verifiable by blockchain records, but it is only through the expertise of an accountant that its location and true worth can be assessed. As to reconciliation, accountants would still have to evaluate its accuracy. Blockchain technology will only upgrade current accounting practices into a more efficient, modern, and advanced way. It will not replace accountants, rather, it can pave the way for great opportunities. The innovation will prompt future accountants and auditors to expand their skills, become more competent and efficient, which will result in opportunities beyond the traditional bookkeeping and reconciliation work. If blockchain technology becomes widely utilized and recognized in the field of accounting, it can influence other industries to develop blockchain-led solutions and services. It is noted that the trend can transform industries not only involving financial services, but including travel, infrastructure, healthcare, public sector, retail and CPG, agriculture and mining, education, communication and information services, and even entertainment.
The future is truly uncertain, and trends may come and go, but the advent of blockchain technology in the accounting profession can be sooner than later. We hope you got meaningful insights in our presentation. Thank you for listening and stay safe.